My mic! Oh, the mic was not working, was it? It looks like it's working now. Sucks for you, though, sirs and zers, because my goddamn voice is at the top of the raspy lesbian that it's ever been of all time. Anyways, with that said, I do want to say I do want to wish you a happy and healthy start to this nice little Monday over here. I also want to remind myself that, hey, my voice actually is pretty wrecked, so if I do start to feel like a little bit shitty, I don't know, it might take like 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, then I will shut off the stream, but at least for right now, we're good enough to go. I got some tea on hand in my Star Wars cup, so hopefully that's good enough for the next 1,000 miles. And with that in mind, let's go put the focus on the Krown application to be found at app.krown.net. There is, of course, a link in the description below. Anyone can take it. It's 100% free, so take advantage of it, sirs and zers. Anyways, with that said, what do we see here that we haven't seen already in this morning? Actually, something pretty damn important here that I do want to point out. Open interest did shoot up another like 300 or 400 million, that is, all the way up to 12.25 billion with a B, that is. And most importantly with that, we've seen this steadily climb up alongside price action. And most importantly, on top of that, we've seen essentially open interest lead price action, which is really good, leading into, well, what would be a mega massive major breakout, if you want to call it that. On top of that, we do see, well, pretty much the same thing from the top 10 best coins, top 10 worst coins. Of course, though, doggy coin is getting a little bit shitted on, and I don't see Ripple there anymore, actually. Ripple having itself a nice week, in fact, and I remember looking at it on this morning's video, and long term, probably still looking upside. I know people hate to hear it, but at the end of the day, man, the market gets to do what the market wants right now. Fear and Greed Index obviously going to be the same as well, so we really don't have too many other things to be updating on a stream like this right now, as far as the underlying market dynamics goes, because they don't really change all that much, except for the open interest. What's up, Inverted Quasimodo? How you doing, man? Much love to you and Elsa, my brother. How you doing, brother? Thanks for the 2.5 year long teaching. Man, I'm just sharing over here. It's changed my life. Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. But at the end of the day, man, you changed your fucking life, and don't fucking forget that, because I really do think that's important to kind of highlight. After entering a trade on Bybit, my liquidation price keeps increasing periodically. Never used to do that. Why? Says Vanna DL Winders. Well, I'd like to get through the actual analysis first before answering these sorts of questions, but it's actually quite simple. If you are doing this on a perpetual contract, which I'm guessing you are, what I would likely guess is happening is that you are paying, well, actually we can go look at it right here. You are paying, as of this current period, if you're holding along, you are paying a 0.124% on all of your contracts, meaning that, yes, your equity is going down as long as you're holding those positions, so naturally speaking, your liquidation price will go up. What's more concerning, though, is that you're even concerned about your liquidation price to begin with. No offense. Now, I've very rarely met a trader who actually uses their liquidation price as like some sort of a risk management tool effectively. Actually, in fact, I don't think I know a single person who uses it actually effectively, or at least if it is effective, or sorry, it could be that it would be workable, but it would certainly never be optimal. So with that said, man, I would say that that's really something to consider, perhaps, and definitely be in tune with what's going on over there. Yes, that means that you actually pay to hold your fucking long positions, and not 0.124%. You can now realize that that is going to become a consideration. Now, of course, this does change every 8 hours, so it could be more, could be less in the next period, but you are going to be paying essentially the whole way through that you are holding these positions as the market is more or less bullish. As if you're holding long contracts, obviously, if you're holding short contracts, you're getting paid, so fair enough. Anyways, with that said, do we see anything different here? We do see all exchanges kind of creeping up, yes, and we actually see most exchanges above the 0.1% threshold as well, so that is a bit more concerning for the short and medium term, but I really want to see this perpetuated for like, a day or two plus before looking for, a greater pullback based upon that. And of course, leading into a breakout like this, or a potential breakout like we're looking at right now, I would be looking at that as, it's likely to kind of creep up, and we might even hit one of those more crazy numbers that you sometimes see in the more egregious rallies, which we could be very much setting up for with a major event set up on Wednesday, April 14th, the Coinbase direct listing, which is of course a direct reference to the title of this video right now, as Coinbase is going to be, well, publicly traded. And with that in mind, a lot of people are going to be playing that as kind of like a corollary to Bitcoin. You see a lot of people in traditional markets essentially treating the Coinbase IPO or direct listing, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I suppose it's technically direct listing. A lot of people are treating it in the same way as they would like a gold miner or a silver miner in order to kind of play what's the old saying? What's the old saying with the gold miners and whatnot? Yeah, you want to be selling the shovels, not actually like looking for the fucking gold, because it's just higher probability you're gonna be able to do that. It's less risk, more importantly too. And so traditional investors, they're gonna look at that as a way to kind of get Bitcoin exposure, but diversify their risk in a sense. Doesn't necessarily work like that. I mean, as you see, everything in this fucking world pretty much moves together. So I think all of that is kind of silliness for the most part, although you can make some arguments against it. But at the same point, is that really the best way to be doing things? No, the best way to fucking hedge yourself with the goddamn short at the end of the day using derivative contracts. What's up, Tom Yao? Tom Yao says, can you please help me take a look at, God fucking damn it, man. Hey, we haven't even got through Bitcoin yet. We haven't even got through the Krown chain application. Look, I'm very appreciative. Sorry, I should say that I'm very appreciative, for a donation, obviously, but at the same time, man, if we get through Bitcoin first and then get on to shitcoins like BNB, I'd be happy to do that. No problem. Anyways, with that said, like we've been looking at here, we don't really see too much difference between this morning's stream and what we're looking at right now. Namely, it's the open interest right here, as we do see that the open interest has essentially made a new all-time high. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get a question about this because the fucking pi cycle indicator has become the goddamn biggest meme in the whole motherfucking market, which is just, it's actually really interesting to look at. Like, I bet when Caretaker made the reverse function on this, he had no idea that this would happen. And the pi cycle indicator to begin with is like, it's like, I mean, it's just a fucking indicator at the end of the day, man. Very untested, and while it has had some interesting results in the past, absolutely, which garner it that attention. Understand that there's no one perfect indicator in the world. If there was, everyone would use it and we'd all be rich, and that's just not the case. What's most important here is there's actually several things that are most important. The signal that we're seeing right now with this current pi cycle top indicator is in no way, shape, or form similar to the past ones that we actually have seen. You can see the past couple tops that it has actually called were also along the top side of this Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. Interesting, yes, but that should be combined with several other things, of which I would pull up historical volatility percentile down here as well. And what do you see with this? Well, actually rather interesting now, isn't it? Because you don't even see historical volatility percentile on the, actually I really want to be looking at this on a daily, although on a weekly it's it's very much relevant as well. Shit, well, it's just going to be a fucking pain in the ass to actually pull this back on a daily here, but we can do it, I suppose. But you can see that all major tops in Bitcoin's history have been put on incredibly high volatility. Like, that is pretty damn normal, pretty damn par for the course stuff in just general market parlance or general market knowledge. See the same thing back on over here in 2014. You see the same thing back on over here in 2013, all getting certainly into the red zone and in deep into the 90 percentiles, of which are we anywhere near there right now? Well, no, we're actually in a decline as far as HVP goes. You can see that it's literally been contracting ever since our highs in February, late February right there, and it's been on a steady decline, actually even a little bit before that in late January. So with all of that said, we don't have the same sort of setup right here that we do as of prior times. What I would say though, and what I really should I even talk about this right now? No, I shouldn't even talk about this, man. I think I've spoken about this enough over the last few weeks that hopefully that information is already out there. Look, the pi cycle top indicator 2 out of 3 times in the history has not even fucking called the actual high once it gave the signal. It called technically speaking, the high came in, about a week or less after the signal was given. But in 2 out of 3 times of those of those iterations, what have we seen? We've actually seen a rally since the actual signal was given. Now, I guess I got to go back down to a daily for this one as well. But if you go back to 2018, you can see actually about a 20 to 30% rally from signal given to next high. Of course, the signal was given about 3 days before the ultimate high was put in right here. And then Bitcoin rallied from a low price of about 17 or 16 to about $20,000, just under 20% right there. It's not going to be perfect, but I just want to show that it actually did have a little bit of a rally left in it. Obviously, this one over here actually did call the top. It actually technically didn't call the top. It called it after the top, but pretty much right around. I would say that's about as close as you're going to get. And then the iteration before that was way the fuck back on over here in 2013 on this mega high. And what did we see? We actually saw a 2x rally from signal given to next major high. So once again, you see the same thing right here, and it's just like people want. It's not like I feel like I'm talking down to people right now. No, that's not what I mean to do. But like, we're all like this. We as human beings, we're fucking lazy in a sense. We don't really want to use our brains if we don't have to, and we always want to find like the fucking one indicator rule them all. The Neo of indicators, right? The one, the prized one. And there's just not or at least as far as I'm concerned, there's not such a thing. And with that said, this an indicator like this, and you always have an indicator like this within every sort of market cycle, and in many different markets too. For example, in 2017, 2018, it was the MBT signal for Bitcoin, and that didn't work out all that well. Had people shortened around like I don't know, I think it was like $8,000 or $9,000, and well, I think we all kind of know how that one turned out. But more importantly, with this, at the end of the day, it needs to be combined with other things. And do we see any of the other things that you would be expecting to see on a major Bitcoin high? to be confluent with the past iterations, of which we only have 3, by the way, that have actually produced a good result? No. And in fact, if there's anything to go off of, 2 out of 3 times we did see, you know, a pretty decent rally after that point. Is there any rhyme or reason to that? I would say no. I'd argue absolutely fucking not. The reason why I say that is because one of the iterations we see a 100% rally from that signal given. The other one we see a little bit less than a 20%, and the other one was pretty much was actually about dead on, I'd say, with the high, maybe like a few percent away. But overall, my point is that, hey, you know, that's the variance between those just shows that it's not the best thing to be going off of right now. Sir, Pi cycle greater than CB listing dump, greater than Bitcoin dead, greater than neck. I don't know what the fuck that internet speak means, but yes, how about that, man? I agree with you, Mahedi Phi. How about that? It's like, I don't know what you're saying, but I agree. It's all good. Anyways, let's get into the actual analysis. Let's look at like actual things, and then we'll look at BNB shitcoin. How about that? Anyways, start off with the daily right here. Make no mistake about it, man. As long as what we're looking at, that was obviously a big focus of this morning's video. I am going to be bullish here. Yes, Bitcoin's more or less boring right now. Yes, Bitcoin is more or less slow, but that's what you expect to see in these very mature consolidations, which, by the way, you never really see a consolidation marking your tops, or sometimes you see it on the bottoms, but a little bit less so. Usually what you see is you see a quick spike like we saw in 2020, or sorry, 2018, that is, way the fuck back on over here at about $20,000, and then a quick rejection, or sorry, that's not even in it right there as well. It's this one over here. Yeah, way the fuck back on over here. A quick rejection, and then boom, down, runs away. That's typically how you get your highs in most assets. Not always, but most of the time, yes. And in Bitcoin over here, you can see that we've been basically having about a 3-month long consolidation since, or sorry, maybe not a 3-month long consolidation. I'd say middle of February to where we're at right now. So what's that's 2 months, 2.5 months, or a month and a half, something like that. Anyways, regardless of the fact, or sorry, regardless of that, you know, it's been quite some time. You don't get multiple chances to sell the fucking high, just like you don't get multiple chances to sell the fucking low, typically speaking. The markets aren't that generous in my experience, and I really can't think of like too many times where that's actually worked out. I'm sure someone's gonna say, but Krown, what about a double top and a double bottom? Yeah, actually backtest that shit and see how it actually works over a long period of time, calling macro highs and macro lows. I can almost assure you that very, 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 very rarely in my experience it's actually even happened with that. So with that said, looking at Bitcoin right here, we do see obviously a consolidation on the highs. We do see that this is within the context of a macro and basically all time frame uptrend, and we do see that momentum oscillators, after consolidating for quite some time, are starting to show a little bit of life here. We do see that the DMI plus is just edging out towards a bit of a signal right now, right around the 24, or yeah, right around the 24 threshold, which is what I have it at, which is a little bit more on the conservative side, by the way. So with that in mind, with the ADX also kind of creeping up there as well, I'd say that if we do get a confirmed signal, especially today, that would look pretty damn good for further continuations. On top of that, we already see daily Stokes looks like they want to cross up. In fact, if Bitcoin closes anywhere above $60,000 today, I'd imagine it certainly will do that. And that would also be another good thing, especially within the bullish control zone. You typically see that leading into your big bad breakouts. And then on top of that, we do see your classic MACD having a bit of an up twist as of yesterday's closure, in fact, which is looking pretty damn good as Bitcoin once again tests the tops out of the range, but not necessarily met with a breakage of range there. What I would like to call out though, and what I think has been a little bit more dependable, is actually the TSI over here on the daily, which did give that same signal a couple days before the MACD. And I just feel that that indicator is like a little bit better. It seems to get things like a slight amount bit better. Anyways, on top of that, we do see RSI on all higher term timeframes given hidden bullish divergence, pretty much at your prior all-time high. Usually going to be a recipe for breaking out to new all-time highs. In this case right here, we see the daily, we see the 2-day, we see the 3-day back in the bullish control zone, we see the 5-day, and we see the newest one as of last night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time was the weekly, all confirming multiple drives of hidden bullish divergence, pretty much at your prior all-time high. There's nothing in my opinion, there's really nothing bearish about this chart right here as it is. Now, as always, there needs to be a condition for getting bearish on the other side. Oh, there he is. What's up, Mr. Sacred? There he is. in XRP Africa. Holy shit, man. There he is. Fucking nice, man. When else are going to start using the hairdryer? No, stop it. Stop. God damn it. XRP Africa is a really good old friend, man. I absolutely love that guy. It's so wholesome. Anyways, looking at this right here, man, you know, of course, there needs to be a condition on the other side because, you know, weird things do happen, obviously. But at the end of the day, you know, when we're looking at technical analysis as a game of statistics and probabilities, well, I would say that the more likely thing to happen here, by a large margin, is more upside. Now, of course, everyone's kind of thinking the same thing right now, and we do have a big event coming in on Wednesday, so I would err a little bit of caution around the actual event itself. But leading into that, the setup is there, and of course, like I just was speaking about, what would be the main thing that would revert and take away this whole major bias that I'm having right now? Well, it's quite simple, man. If you're playing the trend, if you're playing the higher lows, well, where's your last higher low? $56,000. It's no more fucking complicated than that at the end of the day. And that is also going to be confluent with, I believe, last week's lows, around there, wick down to about 55.5. So, you know, if one of those two levels gets taken out, I would look for a big reversal. You know, we could talk about price action down below $50,000 again, probably targeted down to like $45,000. But is that, again, what I'm looking for to happen right here? No, it's just there needs to be a condition as a trader to identify when that primary idea is not going to work out. So as it stands right now, I still look at this as just more or less good. You can call this a ascending triangle at the top side. I mean, that's a bullish reaccumulation. Whatever the fuck you want to call it, man. At the end of the day, several things are confluent with each other, and that typically is the essence of good shit, if you will. Anyways, let's go check out, did I do everything that I want to look at on this chart right here? We just looked at the daily. Let's see what the 2 days looking like. 2 days looking good, just kind of following through with everything else. DMI plus is inching its way towards a bit of a signal there too. Same thing with 2-day Stokes. What do we see on the 3-day? Oh, what do you know? 3-day Stokes once again holding the bullish control zone and up. DMI plus is actually technically dominant and will be confirming actually tonight. Oh wow, this is pretty damn big right here. You know what? This is actually one of the things that I put a significant amount of interest going into today's daily closure for both the daily and is it going to be the 2-day as well? Is it going to be the 2-day? It is. Yes, it is going to be the 2-day. So we got daily, 2-day, 3-day, all closing at the same time tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Anywhere above $60,000 is going to look pretty damn good to me. And this is going to be alongside ADX also strengthening as well. And so all this looks more or less fine as far as I'm concerned. So with that said, let's go check out some caretaker ranges over here on the STC. Sometimes I refer to the as the STD. Looking good right now though, showing a bull zone consolidation on our lower term timeframes on an extremely low HVP. So we are probably looking at a move today, in fact, with momentum actually right around the 20 simple, or yeah, right around the 20 simple. So I actually do like that setup there as well. Let's go back on over here to our secondary charts and look at our lower term time frames. And what do we see on 4 hour? 4 hour DMI plus technically dominant, but not necessarily getting there just yet. More importantly, 4 hour Stokes are headed up right now, and more importantly than that, held into the bullish control zone as you do see it twist back up. I guess I was like in the early morning hours. We did not see that confirmed, I believe, on this morning's video. So fair enough. That would be another point in the Bulaw's court. We see the 3 hour doing the same thing from the same place. Excellent. Bi-hourly actually having a little bit of a flip-flop around, so going to join the other two. And hourly is doing its own thing. So probably a little bit more sideways within this region, but if you are playing the lower term timeframes, we can use the same level that we called out in this morning's video once again for a short term time frame bias buster, and that'd be right around about, let's just call it 59,500. It's easier to say, it's easier to remember, and it's all pretty much within the same area right here. And while you do see all these wicks both to the upside and the downside, that is to be expected. When the market is rather frothy, when the market is rather volatile, and when the market is doing shit like it's doing right now. But at the end of the day, this is why I do really favor closures here, because, well, while we did test it with a wick, no closures below, all good. Oh, what's up, Mr. Rowe? Mark B. Mama gets so wet she caused the river Nile to overflow, while his sister used her beefy flaps to swim to the other side. She sounds like a really lovely lady, actually. Wow, Mark B's mom. Oh my God, if I could meet that lovely lady, I would do. There's nothing more I'd like to do in this world than that, except for swim up the fucking Niles with 5-pound dumbbells tied to my nutsack using only Rosie O'Donnell's queef as my air supply. How about that? Mark B's mom. The fuck is mom anyways? It's mom, you English-speaking fuckers. And anyways, so looking at this right here, that would be a bit of a bias changer for the short-term timeframes. On a 2 hour or 4 hour closure below this region, 59,500-ish region, but it doesn't do anything more for me than that. It's just short-term. It would imply move down another $1,500. So, I mean, that's very much tradable here. Down just below $50,000, almost in line with the 200 simple now on the 4 hour, and you can imagine that it will start to inch its way up there soon enough. But overall, I am, Jesus Christ, man, got some spammers in the chats right now, and our lovely moderators are not here to take care of it, and Elsa's doing like some back kegels or some shit. She's like stretching. She actually hurt her back, I think. Anyways, I'm curious what the other lower term timeframes look like from this primary chart perspective right here. Yep, we see several drives of hidden bullish divergence on the 3-hour, leading right into the bullish control zone. Nice. Sorry, let's go over here to the 4-hour. Same thing on the 4-hour as well. Actually, that happened a little bit earlier today. It looks like bi-hourly. Bi-hourly, can you show me? Yep, actually about to put another drive in there right now. Typically going to be a good thing. And hourly, I imagine, is probably already confirming that region as well. Nicely done, sirs. Nicely done. Anyways, Kelly Kellum says, my morning money whisperer. Oh boy, you're fucked, sir. Hope we can get a Cardano and Link peak also. Sure, man. But you know how it goes, man. We're going to get through Bitcoin first and then we'll get onto that. In fact, Bitcoin's pretty much, I've pretty much said all the things that I want to say about Bitcoin. I should also call out that on short-term timeframes, HVP is very, very low right now, so can really only go up from there, I suppose. Although it certainly can take its time, but again, the regions for changing around biases are more or less pretty damn, what's it called? Oh, there he is, Nimbo's there, my fucking man, my goddamn man. But yes, the regions for kind of changing around biases in the short-term timeframes and also long-term timeframes, pretty damn similar from what we've seen for the past couple days. Again, 59.5 for a short term, that would imply a move down just below $58,000. That's your medium term area right there, and then long term area is just basically your last higher low in the daily, $56,000, or a wick below 55.5, I believe it was. Yeah, 55.5 on BitMEX. Yeah. Anyways, let's see. Okay, so I remember someone asked for BNB on a 4-hour. We can go check it out. This one's been on an absolute fucking tear, hasn't it? I'm gonna take a sip of this tea because I need it right now. My voice is already fucked, I think. It's actually really good, man. It's actually really, really good. You should have some more tea in your life. It does make me sleep, though. I actually took a little bit of a nap before this, and I just lie down on the couch. And I also want you to know that it was definitely with a unicorn, so there you go. Anyways, so you asked specifically about a 4-hour right here. There's a pretty easy trade on the 4-hour right here available. Now, while I would say that the 4-hour is going to very likely create some divergence to the downside, probably on the next drive, it does have a pretty damn easy trade here. And to be fair, when you're looking at bearish divergence, you need at least one fucking confirmed high, and we don't even have that just yet. And then second off, you need a secondary one and preferably a third one in a mega bullish run like this, as I wouldn't be trusting lower term timeframes. I just don't understand what the purpose is of looking at a 4-hour, when you're looking at something like this on a daily. Then again, fair enough. I suppose everyone kind of has their rhyme and reason, but okay, so you have a couple things going on right here. Sorry, I'm getting like way fucking what's it called, off topic right now. Let me just make sure that I have queued up with Mr. Kelly Kellum. Okay, there we go. But yeah, looking at this right here, okay, so you have a massive volume spike on what would be a Darth Maul dildo, which you could also look at as a doji dildo, which is a sign of indecision, perhaps even reversal. How do you confirm reversal off of a short-term time frame like this? Well, you need to come back down below the current low, which is 531.5 on Binance, and that would do that for me and very likely populate targets back down, somewhere around 460 to 470-ish region, somewhere back down around here. And on high volume, if this was on a daily, I might even be willing to call a major top on this, but because this is only a 4-hour, I don't really think that that's what's happening right here. And more importantly, if you are playing this as a Jody Dildo, again, there's a very obvious risk management point. So technically speaking, if we go back here to the daily, I do want a greater view of what's going on in the higher term timeframes. I'm not necessarily bearish on something that looks like this. Yes, it is fucking crazy. Yes, it is fucking incredibly overdone. Yes, it is frothy as hell. But does it go into a bit of a sideways and down consolidation here? I'd say that that's most likely to happen. But again, until we actually even take out the low of that prior 4-hour dildo at 531.5, technically speaking, that trade is not available. If that does happen, I'd look for a range to essentially be created between where it's at right now and all the way down to about 460. Give it some time to consolidate, and then check it out on the higher term timeframes after that. But for right now, technically speaking, like I said, there is that easy trade available, which I actually typically do take. But this one does look a little bit more toppy than not, to be fair. I'm sorry, I don't really have I don't really have too many useful things to give you on this one. 12-hour does say more up though, so I'm more inclined to be looking for more upside on this one overall. The question is, do we play out a bit of a sideways and downside consolidation first, or does this one just fucking blow up to the moon? I'm more inclined here to actually think that it blows up a little bit more to the moon based off the 12-hour daily and weekly. All looking pretty damn good. But again, my criteria for changing around that bias is very simply put, taking out last 4-hour low, and that's going to very likely bring this baby back down, like I said, somewhere around about 460 to 470-ish region. All right, we got Kelly Kellum right now. All right, Cardano and Link. I think just one Well, we can do both, but like I said, I do need to be a little bit cognizant of my voice today, as it's all kinds of fucked up, I think. But it's holding up for right now. It's holding up for right now, so all good. Okay, so what is this one? Cardano's looking good on a 4-hour, consolidating at a high level. Actually, stair-stepping its way up right now. Did break the last sort of high structure, so I look at this one as lower-term time frame beginning to trend. It looks like we're caught in between the same areas that we marked off from last week. I look at this as more or less with bullish goggles here. If we look at a daily, which I don't think that oh no, you didn't give a time frame, so I can't really comment on that. But assuming that you're looking at higher term time frames here, I actually do like this one. Daily TSI crossing to the upside in the bullish bias zone alongside price action, essentially just continuing with the uptrend. I mean, you have yet again another higher low right there. Weekly is looking pretty damn good. In fact, it looks very, very similar to Bitcoin from a momentum offset perspective. You do see that hidden bullish evidence is going to populate itself extremely likely by the end of this week, and at that point you got to be looking for a retest per all-time high at 150 and probably new all-time highs after that. All right, let's see, what else do we got, baby? What else do we got here? All right, holy motherfucking moly, man. Jesus. All right, let me get down here to the bottom of the chats. Okay, all right, let's see. Okay, hold on. Let me just make sure that I got everything here. All right, Dan says GRT on the 4-hour and daily. Okay, Binance. All right, I got you. GRT, you did not give a base pair, so I'm just going to go with US dollar here, as I imagine that's probably what most people are interested in. And it's usually going to be a more bullish chart, to be fair, too. Looking good here. Very, very similar to Cardano on this one, except not as much history. I'd be favoring a short-term move back up to about 220-ish region, maybe even 2.25. Probably makes new all-time highs on top of that. You got the same, you got pretty much the same read on the daily TSI here. Weekly, not a whole hell of a lot of information, but again, as long as you're above this higher low structure, which would be about 157 on a weekly, I'd be looking for this one to not just retest the prior all-time high, I'd be looking for this one to make new all-time highs. It's, you know, most things in this market are going to be more or less good. Daily kind of tells the story on the RSI, and actually daily Jewel is giving you a hot or your long signal right here too. So for what that's worth, would I be looking for this one to actually continue with this momentous drive from here? Yeah, I would actually. Okay, Abbott Dynamic and hey, what's up, Abbott Dynamic Design and Manufacturing LLC. Hey, Krown, miss the streams? Hey, man, me too, man, me too. Glad you're back. Me as well, brother. You spoke recently in the podcast about hidden gems of the CT RSI. Could you elaborate on that a bit? Yeah, man. Are your settings the same on the original training video? I'll show you my settings right now. My settings right now are on the input tab. I got a 14 length, a 12 EMA, and then what you're probably going to be most concerned with is this one right here. Divergence look back bars. I have that at 26. I find the best the most dependable results with 26. Now I can say 28 has been proven to work decently well, and for more aggressive traders they will probably find that acceptable. For myself, not as much, but you know, to each their own, right? So what you're referring to, I think, was this theory that like I've been spending a lot of time thinking about recently. It's basically like momentum of momentum. It's fucking weird, and it's like it's like quantum mechanics in the RSI. No, more importantly, what I'm referring to is something like this right here. So you see this where it has like a it has an anchor, and then it has multiple drives from that anchor. That seems to really solidify like the short-term. Well, actually, in this one, it doesn't work out at all. In fact, that's actually like the worst example right there. Hold on, let me find a better example of what I'm looking for. Yeah, here would be a good one right here. Okay, so you see this one right here. Traditionally speaking, you would not look at this as hidden bullish divergence. This would actually not work as hidden bullish divergence right here. The reason being because it's actually populating that anchor from literally this low, technically speaking. Actually, technically that would work, in fact. Oh, okay, hold on. That's actually not going to be a good example of what I'm talking about either. Okay, let's find a really obvious one then. Would it be this one right here? Yeah, this one right here works out a little bit on this one. What I'm talking about is basically this read where it gives you hidden bullish divergence between this point and this point. And you can see that technically speaking, that wouldn't necessarily be considered hidden bullish divergence, because in the context of hidden bullish divergence, you need an uptrend for that time frame. It cannot happen any other way. Just like for regular bullish divergence, you need a downtrend, and vice versa for, you know, hidden bear and regular bear div, right? So looking at this right here, did this actually produce a move? Yeah, I mean, actually from signal given to next short-term high, it wasn't much, but it actually did produce about a $1,500 move right there. That I have a hard time explaining. I don't know why that happens, but it happens enough to where I look at that as playable and actually have been calling out on these videos for quite some time now. I'll give you another example right here. Actually, this is a really good one. Okay, so you see this one right here. It gives you the 12th of February at 6 a.m. my time. That's literally coming in from this area right here, and it's connecting it. That anchor is connected with this low right here. This, again, should not be considered hidden bullish divergence by like a textbook definition, but the result is good. Like that's my problem with it. So, I've showed you a couple of results where it works out. There was one iteration right here where I showed you that it did not work out actually. But funnily enough, man, it works out enough to where I actually do take those. Like I actually do feel comfortable taking those, especially in Forex. I can't explain why it works out. I think there's some sort of like, there's some sort of interplay between like momentum, which is technically acceleration, but there's something else going on because that is not the way that it's supposed to be related to begin with. Like those 2 points should not be related to each other because you're taking like an arbitrary low within this structure over here and relating it to a higher low over here, and then that's just getting the next drive up. And I've seen this happen many, many times, both the upside and the downside. It happens on all of the calls, regular div, hidden div, of all varieties. I have no fucking clue why that works, but again, Caretaker's RSI, I mean, like it's just kind of opened up my eyes that like even with something as fucking basic as an RSI, there's still shit to be learned over time. Here's another example with regular bull div. Like you see this one right here. This should not ever count as regular bull div between this point and this point. Like this is like completely egregious. But with this look back period, it gets it anyways. And look, I mean, that actually is the low of $30,000 right here before rallying up on Elon Musk's tweets, right? So my point is that. Look, I don't even know if it matters if I can explain it or not. I don't think it matters because at the end of the day, I mean, we don't. You don't need to know the explanation to actually play it. So fair enough. That is sort of the interplay that I've been referring to. I've spoken to Caretaker with this. He has no idea either. It's just all right. It fucking works. So. Fair enough. And you're welcome to backtest this yourself. But I found on lower term timeframes, like even a 4 hour, I believe it has, last I looked, about a little bit over 70% hit rate, which is good. I mean, that's considered pretty fucking good, man. All right. Anyways, at least in my book, Le Major 23 says Knowles USD on Binance. Okay, I got you, man. Bring up Knowles. Man, I haven't heard Knowles called out in, it's got to be like 3 or 4 years since 2017, I believe. Okay, so let's see. It's only on Binance. Looks a little bit toppy in the short term. Yes. Daily looks a little bit toppy as well. Daily jewel sell signal right here. I'd probably be looking for a little bit of downside short term, maybe back down to like 120-ish region. Now, of course, I do have a difficult time getting like actually bearish on something when Bitcoin, is potentially threatening another upside move, and it gets revealed pretty damn quickly here on the weekly. While it does probably have a little bit, probably does have a little bit of a downside move. I do think that it actually will eventually pull itself through, but short term does it have a downside move? Very likely, yes. Let's look at a monthly here too. We actually do have a decent amount of history. Yeah, I'd actually be looking for a little bit of downside here. This is a good place for a local high. So at least short term downside. And could I get bullish on this thing once again? Yes, it's just the opposite way in the sense that like I would be looking for reasons to not get bullish first until I look for reasons to get bullish. But if we actually backtest this right here, this is the same breakdown area that you saw from September 2018. Did I know that was going to populate right there before putting that horizontal in? No, but of course these things typically work together with each other. You'll see. And here's another example right here. Here's another fucking example right here. Look, it's going to show that there's bearish divergence between this point. This should not in any way, shape, or form show bearish divergence right here. If anything, it should actually show bearish divergence between this point and this point, but it's not confirmed as a local high just yet. That's what I'm talking about. I don't understand why that happens, but yeah, my target's gonna be the same. A little bit below 120-ish region short term. Probably does try a bounce from there, and then I want to see it in real time. But I don't believe. Oh no, you said weekly and monthly. Weekly and monthly actually look pretty toppy here to me. I really have no reason to be bullish on this one long term as long as it's below the last high, which is 165. That is kind of like your generational breakdown right here coming in from September 2018. So my point is with this one is that if I'm just looking at this chart, yeah, I would be bearish. And short term, yeah, I do think that it comes down. But you didn't ask about that. You asked about long-term timeframes. The problem is that long-term, we're seeing everything within this market get a free ride here. Like, for example, I'll give you a chart that I think a lot of people probably don't want to admit. But hey, this one, bullish as fuck, bullish as fuck with Mr. Ripple's nipples. Same thing over here, you know, and you can see that these, you know, these charts are kind of like corollaries of each other. They're very much related to each other. And so that one is certainly relatively weak, even in comparison to Ripple, but, you know, just by being in the crypto market, probably gonna get a free ride as well. Okay, cool. Tom Yao says, could you also take a look at Bake BUSD? Okay, Bake BUSD. Why BUSD? Does it only trade versus that? Oh, it actually does only trade versus that. Okay, fair enough. Don't know what the fuck this is, but it has a food name, so there you go. Fucking crypto market in a nutshell. Yep, hit it. You know, hitting your prior breakdown area from this region right here. Did you give a time frame though? Oh, you said hourly and daily. That's quite the spread between time frames. Here's the problem with this thing, man. On a 4 hour, we barely even have enough time to even populate like a 200 simple and 200 exponential average. It's going to make analysis on something like this like very shaky. I want to be very upfront about that. Look, I don't trust technical analysis like to begin with, and I don't even and I certainly don't trust it on things that are, you know, have like less than three to 5 years of history. That's you really like more history is going to be good. But in this case right here, would I be looking for a little bit of short-term downside? Yeah, you did ask about the hourly. I'd be looking for an hourly move, probably back down to like 170-ish region. And then what did you say? Daily? Daily, kind of to say the same thing as what I said on the prior one. It's like, you know, does it reaccumulate somewhere around that region and then try again higher just because it's in the crypto market right now? Probably yes. But I would get very bearish is not the right word to be using on this one. I would be looking for a significant downside, probably back down to like $1.25 or maybe even $1 even. If it starts to crack back down below 160, we'll call it 155 and close daily doodles below there. If it does that, yeah, I'd be looking for a greater reversal and comes back down into this range right here. But for right now, you got to go with the market, I suppose. Serperator, what's up, man? It's morning from San Diego. Oh man, the best place in California. I actually grew up in San Francisco myself. Fucking hated it. Would never move back there even if you paid me $1 million goddamn dollars. That means nothing. Even if you paid me 200 bitcoins, how about that? Yeah, I fucking hate that place. But San Diego is awesome, man. Why am I even talking about this? Congratulations to you. You're living. It really is the best city in California, in my opinion. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting way off track once again. What did you ask for? Holy fuck, man! I just lost my. There we go. Okay, found it. Okay, Mara daily, weekly. Okay, sweet. Areas of interest to the upside. All right, so this is a Bitcoin miner, I believe, or no, it's Marathon Digital Holdings. No, so they're like some sort of pseudo ETF in a way. Don't quote me on that because I don't actually know. Golden Cross above our last major breakdown area at $49. I remember this one because you asked about this one last week. Got to be generally favored the upside for myself right here. Hidden bullish divergence in the lower end of the bullish control zone. I do like that read as well. I'm going to be bullish on this one if you are looking at higher term timeframes. You also asked about a daily. Daily stair stepping its way up. You know, in fact, even the daily looks like it wants to take off from here. I look at this as the ascending triangle already resolved to the upside. I favor this one on daily and weekly. Let's look at the short-term timeframes just to do it the full look here. You know, if it has another move back down to like 42 and a half, I would say that that's not super problematic, but I'd be very much long-term bullish on this one, which sounds like you're looking long-term as long as you're, especially above all major moving averages here. I mean, there's no reason to be bearish on that. But I'd say 36 and a half if you're thinking like very long-term, which it sounds like you probably are. And seeing as this thing does have like literally, I think 20 or 30 years of history. Okay, maybe not 20 years of history, maybe 10. Sorry, about 10 years of history. You know, we can start to judge that a little bit better. Yes. So yeah, man. So sorry, targets the upside or areas of interest the upside. Well, the one that you're at right now is a pretty damn big one, and you can see that is kind of pushing back on price action. But the one above that would be about basically $100 actually, $100 to, and then 100, and then what is this, like 130? About 125 to 130 after that, but $100 is going to be a big one. You know, those round, even psychological numbers get played off of whether they even have validity or not. But this one actually does have a structural breakdown around that region, so very likely does get some play, assuming that it continues with this rally here. But overall, long term, I do like it. Okay, sweet. B-Dub says, throwback request in tribute to one of your OG watchers years back. Anmar, can you take a look at Encash Ethereum? Man, that fucking guy just dragging like a laundry list of shit coins. It's like, man, Anmar, I can smell you from a mile away, brother. It's like Encash, Nucleus Vision. This is definitely the most non-PC friendly name for a cryptocurrency. Encash. Fucking Encash in today's world. You're gonna name your fucking cryptocurrency Encash? How tone deaf are you? Disgusting. We should fucking take him away to it. PC police coming for your ass, bitch. Anyways, is this thing gonna rally too? Probably not. No, this thing only goes down. This thing is the worst chart of the day, motherfucker. Look, we do not support racism or transphobia or other bigotry type shit. There's a sign in the back that says we don't do that, and this thing I don't fucking like it. How about that? Absolute garbage though, man. Yeah, we're woke over here. Very woke. Thank you for that, Tom Yao. But I guess I'm just getting to that a little bit later. What's up, Philson? I see you, brother. I see you. I see a couple of people asking for the song title of the intro, DG. Actually, the song for the intro is a unique song made by one of our community members, Mr. Corduroy, who is a professional, very, very talented music producer himself. I actually have a link to his SoundCloud if you like his music in the description of this video. However, this song itself, for what I know, is actually not. It's probably not going to show up there. I think it's only here. Now, what I have done, if you just want to listen to the song and not hear my stupid fucking voice, is you can actually just go to my, or you don't even need to go to my channel. Just type in on YouTube. What did I name it? Fuck, man. I forgot what I named the song. I forgot what I named this song. Look, there's like a 10-minute long video on this channel that I uploaded like a month ago. It's that. Motherfucker, man. How could I do that? Thundering Evil says, thanks, Krown. Love the stream. Hey there. Hey, man. Thank you. Can we look at Microsoft? Yes, I'd love to look at Microsoft. Microsoft's like my baby from my traditional days. And where is it on here? I know that I have it somewhere. I couldn't have gotten rid of that one. That's MicroStrategy. Very similar ticker, but not quite it. Where is my Microsoft? Should be in this area right here. Come on, man. Come on. Actually, I literally don't see it. Maybe I did get rid of it. That's unfortunate. Anyways, we can just do it the old-fashioned way, no problem. All right, MSFT. This one always blows my mind when I look at the chart, man. Wow. This one just doesn't stop. Yeah, tech's leading the rally. I think the techs have their earnings coming in next week, and it's bank's earnings this week. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe last I checked that's true. Look, there's nothing fucking bearish about this chart. Weekly TSI just had another bullish cross in the bullish bias zone. Weekly RSI just literally got in the bullish control zone right there, and you're doing this all on dual time highs on the weekly. That's fucking bearish, right? No, this thing's looking very, very good here. Do I have target C upside? Yeah, actually I can generate some target C upside on this one because we do have some obvious ranges, and we can pull some fibs on this one. Let's see, let's do this one right here. Should be pretty damn simple, should be pretty damn easy. Next area of interest is going to be about 250 to, well, actually it's technically 269. I would say the real area of interest though is going to be about 280ish region long term, but you did not give a time frame on that, so I don't really know where you're going with that one. I just have to speak from my own history here, man. The reason why this chart like completely blows my mind is I was trading this thing in like 2012, 2013, 2014. In 2015, and as you can see, it's gone for almost a 10x since that time. Well, maybe not necessarily 10x, but it was like $35 when I first started trading it, and that was over here. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man, crazy shit. Okay, all right. Let's see. Kelly Kellum says, considering moving into Orion protocol, symbol ORN. Thoughts on the project in general? I don't do like fundamental analysis. I'm definitely not the person to ask about that. I'd ask Elio Trades. He's the guy for alternative coins, shit coins. Let's see if it pops anything up here. Okay, so it is a crypto. I have to double check on that one. Look, as far as the charts goes, I mean, you don't need me to tell you that that's toppy as hell right there. In fact, this one looks like it might have actually legitimately topped out. But does it get a bounce relatively soon? Yeah, I do think that it will bounce around 12.5, 12 and 3/4, somewhere around there. But this is a bit of a high right here. I mean, we do have a jewel sell signal, actually pretty much right on the top. We do see bearish evidence all the way through, and we almost see a continuation jewel sell signal populating itself, although it's not necessarily there just yet. And also from a pattern perspective, head and shoulders. So as always, confluence is typically good, and all those being bearish things is not fucking good. So yeah, this one's gonna bounce around a little bit, but do I think that you've seen your highs for a while? Yeah, it looks like it. Yes, even the 4 hour just got a death cross not so long ago. It looks like it was last week on the 7th. So fair enough. I do think next short term move is to the downside. Probably plays at about somewhere around 12.5 hours. Or sorry, $12.5. Jesus, man. Okay, I am losing it right now. Hey, Mr. Josh, how you doing, brother? Vet USD. Holy moly, man. Thank you for that. That was very generous. Vet USDT, Vet BTC daily and weekly on Binance. Okay. Also, I'm a bit confused on Vet USD daily Stokes. Got a sell signal, but RSI looks constructive. Jewel looks okay. So when it comes to trending markets, don't look at Stokes. Stokes are not going to get it well in trending markets. Technically speaking, I can make an argument that they actually do get it well, but the interpretation of them is different. That's a little bit more of a nuanced concept, which, look, the easier answer is just say, hey, when you're in a trending market, don't look at your fucking Stokes. Look at your RSI if you want to use the traditional tools, which, I mean, everyone has their tools, but you want to be looking at more long-term things. If you're playing the trend, moving average is going to be a little bit of a better way to do that. There's nothing bearish about this chart, man. Nothing at all. And I say this as someone who thinks that Vet is like, it's silliness, right? I remember when this thing came out, but at the end of the day, man, you can't argue against this chart. I'd be bullish as fuck on it. We've been bullish as fuck on it ever since it turned the corner way the hell back on over here in June 2020, actually. And then again, especially when it took out this high right here at about 2 cents. Now, could I have told you that I was going to do this, all the way to the upside? No, but that's not what TA is for. What TA tells you is that this thing is still an uptrending motion. I don't see anything wrong with this. So yeah, you're looking at daily or weekly. You're looking at daily. Look, man, yeah, I don't look at daily in like a generational uptrend right here to give anything worth a signal on a short-term time, on like what is more or less a ranging momentum oscillator like Stokes. What I look for is, again, RSI, moving averages, volatility, and in some cases Challenger bands as well. And this one, based off the weekly, man, I shouldn't say super confident, but I'd be quite confident that's when we'll make new all-time highs. Probably this week, maybe next week. Does it play at a pullback first? Yeah, it could play at a pullback first. Wouldn't be asking for too much to get this baby back down to like 11.5 or maybe even 10.5 cent. Certainly wouldn't be asking for too much, but I would feel very confident saying that this one will march on to new all-time highs. But it is starting to get pretty damn frothy here. But make no mistake about it, man. I don't look at this as toppy just yet. It's getting there, but I don't think that it's there just yet. And we actually don't even have bearish evidence on a weekly. I imagine the daily. Well, actually, the daily doesn't even have it either, which is pretty damn good. So yeah, short term probably does play at a little bit of downside. Again, doesn't really change my long-term view on this one though. Let's see, what else do you say on this? MACD histogram is softening. Bounce on the Challenger bands. We can look at it over here. How about that? All right, VET USD. Okay, cool. On Binance, we can just quickly give it a look-see. Hey, god damn it! Stop encouraging her. It's really awful. Could you actually make me some more tea, please? Thank you, sir. Oh, nice. I got the best girlfriend ever. Yeah, looking at the daily troll demands right here. Actually not getting too much from that, to be honest with you. Let's look at it on a weekly. I imagine it's probably trendy right now. Yeah, weekly. I think that the weekly probably bounces somewhere around here. This thing could come all the way down to even 10.5 cents, and I'd still be bullish on it for at least for the next couple weeks here with a bias there. We also wanted to look at Vet BTC as well. We can do that very, very quickly. Okay, Vet BTC. Is there anything different about this chart? It looks very similar, actually. It looks very similar. Not as bullish as... oh, wow. It's certainly not anywhere near as bullish as the US dollar pairing, as this one's not making new all-time highs alongside that, but it's still looking pretty damn good here as well. If this thing came back down to like 200 Satoshis, that'd be a very, 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 very obvious trade for at the very least a fucking bounce, in my opinion. And do I think this one makes new highs on this run? Yeah. Again, look at your oscillators. This one still looks good long term. Weekly TSI, fine as well. I have no problems with that one, man. I'd be looking at this one to still march upwards and onwards. Next area of interest, the upside is going to be 250, but you already kind of tested that and rejected semi so far. So I look at probably the next move probably to break that, and realistically the target's going to be like 275, more like. Okay, cool. All right, Ikhil Fish says VRA USDT KuCoin 4 hour, and sure. Hey man, appreciate that. very, very aware, sir. Halfway through your TA program, and am grateful for all the great info packed in there. Man, thank you for that. That's very humbling. I'm glad that it's serving you well. And with those programs, man, it's you get out of it what you put in. So if you feel like you're getting a lot of value from it, it shows that like you're really putting a lot of work into it, and that's the kind of person who's gonna be successful with it. So that's really, really awesome, man. And very happy to hear that. Anyways, let's look at what you asked for. Let's see, VRA USD 4 hour. You said specifically on Derpcoin, on KuCoin. Weekly is good as fuck, man. 4 hour stair step in its way as well. I'm bullish on this one. I don't know why you specifically wanted to look at a 4 hour, because a 4 hour is probably the least impressive one to me. It's the daily and weekly that I really like here. If this thing came back down to like 4.2 cent or even just around there, like 4.3 cent, I'd be looking at that as a major opportunity. This one very likely makes new all-time highs. I see no reason to be bearish on this one as long as above last week's low. And even just looking at the daily, I mean, it's just an uptrend, man. It's just, simple as, right? Could come back down, like I said, to like low 4.2 cent, but ultimately I do favor the upside, especially as long as it's above this higher low right here, and that is 3.5 cent basically. Yep. Okay, cool. Mark says, glad your voice is getting better. It's slowly getting there, man. Slowly getting there. We'll see. We'll see after the stream though. Any chance of looking at Tilray? Yeah. Oh man, Tilray. Wow, you don't need to put a USD pairing for that one, man. It's a stock. It's implied. It's all good. But I got on Nasdaq, and you said weekly. Okay, yeah. And man, I'm actually a lot more happy to look at stocks than I am at crypto, to be honest with you. They're just more interesting. And to be fair, like for most cryptos, they're mostly doing the same thing with a few outliers here and there. This one is a piece of shit. This one belongs in the crypto market. It's garbage, man. I actually remember when this one went IPO a few years ago. Actually, I didn't trade it myself, but one of my friends was trading it, and we were kind of like talking on the phone when he was trading the open. It was a fun one. It was definitely a fun one, but that's not what you're interested in right now. What we should be talking about is over here. I think that you just confirmed another major macro high. I'd be looking for this one to come back down. $12 probably plays at a bounce there. Long term comes down to $6. This is garbage. This is hot garbage right here. And this is really fucking bad too, because this one is not playing out the same sort of inherent bullishness alongside the rest of the market. This one's just barely fucking putting in another lower high. Absolute garbage. Just complete fucking garbage. The monthly is even worse. The monthly has never even known what a real rally is. Yeah, I'd be looking for this one to come down to like $13. Probably play at a bounce there on the monthly, and then trudge along the way from there. I see no reason to be bullish on this thing at all from a long-term perspective, which it sounds like you are very much invested in, as you're talking about a weekly. As long as it's below about $32 right here, especially on a weekly closure. There will be bounces obviously, but this is hot garbage right here. It's absolute shit. Robert Deru says, hey Krown. Hey, what's up, Robert? Can you look at DeFi perp on the daily index of the major DeFi projects? Sure. Okay, DeFi DeFi perf. All right, so we actually got a bit of a DeFi index here. Looks really good, man. This one looks like it's ready to roll once again. I'd be favoring the upside here based off the weekly. It looks very, very good actually. Daily is looking to go right now. Yeah, this is bullish. There's zero reason, in my opinion, to be bearish on this thing as long as it's above about what is it, 11,200. So a very easy management point back below there. If that area gets taken out, yeah, we could talk about pullbacks down below $10,000, but this is likely to make new highs, man. It's looking good right now. I'd even use last week's lows as a nice continuation point. Like, no reason to be bearish as long as you're above that region for the long term. But I'm not sure. Okay, you're talking about a daily, so yeah, you're probably focused on this right here. Yeah, it's looking good, man. This is an ascending, or is it an ascending triangle? No, it's technically not. It is a bit of a range. Technically speaking, this would be called like a rectangle. Look, all of these things have fucking names. At the end of the day, man, you pretty much play them all the same way. Just break the supportive resistance. That's the way that you go. Yes, there's stronger probabilities onto which side you're going to break depending upon what the name is. But on this one, man, I'd be favoring a move probably, or at least I'd have like major areas of interest somewhere in the $16,000 to $17,000 region. So pretty damn good. Hey, what's up, Chimero? Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Would you be so kind and have a look at XXP USDT Binance chart 4-hour and daily? Okay, nice. This one has time frames. It has base parent. It even has an exchange. This is really good. Really fucking good, baby. All right, SXP USD 4-hour and daily specifically. Okay, gotcha. Daily, we can start off with this one. Looks pretty damn good long term. Broke the prior all-time high, came back down, retested it. Classic shit right there. I'd just be looking for this one to kind of stair step its way onwards and upwards. Daily RSI looking more or less fine. Does it play at a pullback though? Short term, well, I think that's what we want to go to the short term timeframes for. And right here we got the 4-hour. Yeah, short term probably does play a little bit of a pullback. Maybe back down to like $4.50, but I would be looking for bounces around that region. If that region fails, maybe a little bit lower at like 440-ish region, but it's all kind of the same right there. I think the daily tells the story on this one. And the market, generally tells a story as well. Oh, baby, I got my keys. I need to take a sip of this, guys, before my throat goes into full-on catastrophe. Holy fuck. That's strong. That's real. I'm so cool. I drink tea out of a Star Wars cup, and I wake up at 5 a.m. You want to be like me? Elsa says I'm a boomer. Well, fuck off. How about that? Fibbo Swanee, holy shit, man! Good to see you, brother. Hope everything's well, man. It's been a long time since we chatted, man. But it's good to see your face again, man. And my God, man, it's just I'm always very happy to see OGs of the cave. More importantly, guys, check out Fibbo Swanee's channel. He has a great channel going on there, and just a good old pal, man. All right, let's see. Where did I leave off right here? Okay, we got rock bottom. Krown, any chance of dollar yen? Yeah, man, yeah. Let's see, my Forex list is over here, and you want to look at USD versus JPY. All right, we can look at that exact pair. This one looks a little bit toppy to me on the daily. Did you give a time frame? No, yes, you did. 4 hour, okay. 4 hour, down. I'd be looking at a 4 hour move down to about 108.85 to 108.90-ish region, somewhere back down around here, and probably tries to bounce. Long term, which you didn't ask for. I think this one's toppy long term. I think this one comes back down to range. Okay, cool. DG is continuing to ask for the song title intro. I don't know if I can make it any more clear to you, man. You can only find it on this channel. I do have a video that is titled something. It says like Krown intro music video or something along the lines. You can find it there, man. But it's not like a widely available one. Okay, cool. All right. There he is. Oh, dear Lord, man. What's up, Phil? Let's see. Phil wants to look at OGN USD 4 hour and daily. Okay, we can go check that one out really quickly here. OGN Origin Protocol, Binance 4 hour and daily. Daily looks, sorry, that's weekly. Weekly looks good. Daily, a little bit of short term down. I'd be looking for a bounce at about 209, 210 region. 4 hour. Same shit. Yep. Maybe a little bit of short term down. Long term, though, I do like it. I actually really do like this. This is looking extremely good on the weekly. Very similar to a lot of the other ones that we've seen. Probably looking for, well, I'd go with the market here, but I do like it on the week, or sorry, I do like it on the weekly after a little bit of a short term pullback. I see Jenik as well. What's up, Mr. Jenik? There he is, brother. There he is. Hosea fam, my fucking man. Krown Crypto Anthem. Nice. There wasn't a third K in that one. That's really good. Abbott Dynamics says, thanks for the input, sir. Last question for your voice. All good, man. Assuming my fib extensions are correct, we're pushing up to the 3 spot of the 3 spot extensions. Which do you think will be most relevant first? I'm guessing you're talking about Bitcoin here. Because you didn't really denote what specifically you're talking about. So what I'm going to talk about what I'm going to highlight right here, because this is the closest thing that I can kind of come up with that you are looking at. It would be this guy right here on CME chart. And yeah, we are pretty much right around the 3 spot extension. What are you asking? Okay. Which do you think will be most relevant first? Well, I actually don't have any fibs plotted between the 2 spot 618 and the 3 spot. Technically, there are a few. I mean, there probably would be like one right here if I had to guess, like the 2 spot. What would it be, like 986 or something like that, or maybe maybe like the 2 spot 786 would probably be somewhere right around here. I don't put that one in there just because otherwise it just gets too fucking convoluted. And yes, it does get a little bit of play, but if you're asking for most relevant, I don't look at this as too well, it is kind of relevant for the top side of this formation right now, to be fair. Then again, you could argue that the 618 actually pretty much already got that anyways. That's kind of why I don't put it in there. But technically speaking, there is one in there. The 786 would be more relevant. You're asking most relevant. So we've already passed the 618. So at that point, I don't really pay too much attention to the 886 or the 942 here. What I pay attention to is the 786. So that's probably what I think that's what you're asking. So it'd be the 2 spot 786 in that case. But I actually don't include any of those on the extensions just because it just gets too much to look at, man. It's just too much going on my charts already. Not to mean that it doesn't work. It's just, I'd rather clear out the charts a bit more in favor of cleaner charts. Anyways, let me pull this back out a little bit right here as well. There we go. All right, cool. Let me take another sip of this as well. Here we go. Nice one. All right. Jesus Christ, man. Okay, we got this lovely person back in here. All right, Rose Productions has retracted a message. Why would you do that? Why would you do that, Rose? Okay, cool. Lego My Ego says, hi, Krown. Can I get your thoughts on T-Fuel, Bitcoin, 24-hour Binance, TSI, and RSI read? Yeah, let's see. T-Fuel, and you want to look at it versus Bitcoin specifically. All right. in what time frame you're looking at a 24. Oh, I'm on the wrong chart right here. T fuel 24 hour. Oh, Jesus Christ, I did the wrong one. God damn it, man. All right, T fuel. All right, Bitcoin, here we go. 24 hour, and you're specifically asking about the TSI and the RSI. Okay, in this case right here, RSI, I am neutral on this. I don't really have anything to say about that right there. You know, you did get a hidden bullish evidence call right here, barely fucking played out. I didn't even look at these ones as playable to begin with. I mean, you know, it confirms right here, yes, then you got a little bit of upside from 650 all the way to, yeah, about 690. Not anything too crazy right there. TSI, though, tells the story a little bit better in my opinion right here, because you're still in the bullish bias zone. And what I'd be looking for is probably a little bit more, you know, another try towards the downside, probably somewhere around this last prior low right here. And then if you start to see the TSI start to turn around, that's going to be pretty damn indicative that you will see another higher low right around there. However, for what it's worth right now, we don't have that in line. So it's just, it's not available. So you're asking about something that is like, it's like a phantom. It hasn't happened yet. So you can't really judge that just yet. So my point is that if you're judging that as bearish, no, I look at this as if anything, it would be a bullish reset first and foremost. And as it stands right now, the RSI is simply neutral. The TSI would be neutral as well. It's not bearish until it comes back down below the zero read right here, and that's your bearish buy zone. Same thing for RSI right on over here. You know, your bearish control zone is still pretty damn far away. All right, cool. Jesus Christ, man. I need to take another sip of this, man. My voice is starting to lose me a little bit. All right, there we go. Good for another 5 minutes, I think. All right, Dan says LYXE USD daily. Okay, gotcha. LYXE USD. There we go. And Luxo Tether. All right, gotcha. Let's see. Yeah, I'd be looking at a little bit of upside on this one as well. Hidden bullish evidence off that last low. Yet again, another higher low. I'd be looking at a short-term move back up to about just under $20. And again, within the context of the rest of the market, man, probably does march its way upwards and onwards. But probably does test the 10 simple first on the weekly, and then I'd be looking for a little bit of, a little bit of this play out, targeted region somewhere around about $20. And again, probably follows the rest of the market. The rest of the market takes off. I'd imagine it's going to go with it. Even though I've never fucking heard this thing like ever, it looks like it only trades on KuCoin. A little bit questionable, but the market analysis trumps all mostly. Please make your streams this time. That's the plan. that's actually the plan, man. That's actually the plan. All right, let's see. Let's see. Stuart says into the yeah, there it is. Stuart's got it. Into the cave. Krown's crypto anthem. There we go. Fucking nice, man. Fucking nice. Love it, brother. Love it. All right. Let's see what else do we got, man. Christ. Okay, I think actually that's pretty much. Oh wait, no. All right, we got a few more here, and then I'm gonna call it a day. What's up, Hamilton? There he is. Hamilton's got another channel as well, man. You got to check it out, brother. He is great. A good friend as well. Hey, Daddy Krown. Just regular Krown. Hope all is good. Fancy giving Vet a couple eyeballs. Yeah, I mean, we looked at it earlier. I'm not sure what time frame you want to be looking at it, but versus dollar, it looks very good to me. Looks very, very good to me, especially on a higher term time frames like a weekly. Yeah, it does a pull back on a short term time frame. Yes, I imagine that wouldn't be asked for too much. Anywhere back down to 11 or 12 cent is certainly not without the question, but weekly says new all-time high is probably coming in within the next like week or two, actually. Daily, again, if it pulls back to 11.5, I'd look at that as an opportunity on the first pass. And there's actually there's not a whole hell of a lot even saying that it even comes down there. 4 has a little bit more pullbacky. Yeah, if I did have to call it, yeah, short term would be a bit of a pullback, but I still like the weekly for the long term there. Actually would still be looking for a little bit more. All right, cool. Let's see. Jesus Christ. Oh dear Lord. Luke T says BCH BTC one day, please, Daddy. Sir, just no, Daddy. Just brother would be better. Makes me a little bit anxious when someone calls me Daddy. Let's see. Daily over here, shitty as fuck, man. Shitty as fuck. This one looks like, this one's not even joining the altcoin rally. Holy shit, man. This is hot garbage here as well. Don't like it, but short term, would I be looking for a downside move? Yeah, 109 region is where I'd be looking towards. Weekly, look, the problem right now is that the altcoins are generally rallying, and this one has played a bit of a rally here too. Would I be looking for this one to reverse officially? That's the real question. I don't know about that, man. I look, I'm never going to be bullish on something that looks like this. if you're looking at the general market, most things in this market are rallying versus Bitcoin right now. And this one has had a nice rally versus Bitcoin, but I'm very hesitant to call a macro reversal on this one long term. And you're asking about a daily specifically, so I guess I don't really need to address the macro. So fair enough. I'd be looking for a short-term move back down to about 108, 109 region, probably short-term bounce there. Probably trade sideways for a little bit and then coughs up the rallies it typically does. I mean, there's really just no reason to believe that something like this is reversing right now. I mean, I don't see a change of behavior in the volume signature over here. I don't see reversal in any time frame that matters. The weekly is just straight fucking nosediving. The monthly is even more atrocious. I hate it, man. I absolutely hate this chart. This one actually would win I don't know if this one would win the worst chart of the day award over Ncash versus Ethereum, but this one definitely a big contender for that one. Okay, sweet. Abbott Dynamics says, sorry, I did mean Bitcoin. I've heard you mention certain fib levels are more reactive. Sorry for lack of clarity. Yeah, I mean, in general, like the 618 and the 382 are going to be bigger ones. It kind of depends what market though. Like some markets favor certain ones over others. It's usually it's mainly just a function of whoever the operator is. But realistically, if you're talking about Bitcoin specifically, the 618 gets a lot of play, the 786 gets a lot of play as well, and the 382 gets a lot of play. Those ones I've found to work very consistently well. At least for like scalp bounces for the most part. Okay, cool. All right. Did we get everything here? I think we got pretty much everything, man. Okay, sweet. Oh no, we got Nebulous Matter. What's up, Nebulous Matter? Thank you for the education you provide. Man, I'm not providing any education, sir. This is all for entertainment purposes, and whatever you get from this is on your own volition, sir. Your own volition. Anyways, wanted to know if you can take a look at ZIL BTC pair on the weekly. Sure, man. Sure. All right, this has got to be the last one though, because I can actually feel my voice is starting to fade a little bit now. Let's see. Daily coming down here. Bearish divergence at the top. I'd be looking for this one. Maybe a short-term bounce off this level, but ultimately I would be looking for it to come back down a little bit more significantly, probably down to about 308. Is this Satoshi's? Yes, this is Satoshi's. Let's look at the weekly. I have to say the same thing here as I did say on Bcash, right? It's like, look, most things versus Bitcoin going to get a free chance to rally here. Is this thing going to join the party? I mean, it's certainly of the weaker variety. Short term, I would be looking for a little bit of downside, however, and I really have a hard time going against the market though. But yeah, short term, I would be looking for some downside. Then after that, I'm gonna have to give you a bullshit answer, man. I'm gonna have to give you a bullshit answer. Unfortunately, I can't be bullish on this thing as long as it's below what would look like the next major macro high on this one. That's not very helpful, though, to be fair. That's not very helpful. What I can say, however, though, is that if it does start to close on higher highs in about 380-ish region, I would look for this one to actually rip. That would be a change of behavior here. We technically do have a bit of a reversal in progress on the weekly. We do have a set of higher highs, and we do have one higher low right there. If that area were to get taken out, I'd have no problem targeting moves up to like 600 Satoshis, maybe even more than that over time. But for right now, I favor the downside short term and medium term, and let the long term kind of sort itself out. So I think a healthy amount of I don't know on this one, similar to kind of Bcash on the long term as well. I'm generally going to go with what has been the long term trend on this, and we do technically have a dual sell signal here as well. So I'm more inclined to be favoring the downside at least for the short term, medium term, and then come back to it after that. Anyways, okay, cool. Abbott Dynamics says, hey man, all good. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, assuming that my voice doesn't completely crap out tonight. But I think it's feeling okay. I think it's feeling more or less fine. But I'm going to not do a wrap up today, mostly because I do feel like I need to save it a little bit more. Hopefully by tomorrow things should be like completely back to normal, and we can enjoy the regular schedule. But for right now, fellas, I am going to be signing off. I want to say a massive, heartfelt thank you for joining on in. It's been an absolute fucking pleasure. I really enjoyed doing these. It actually really sucked those last couple days when I couldn't really get on and hang out with the old crew here, but I think things are steady enough again where I can handle it, and fair enough with that. So with that said, I want to wish everyone well once again. It's been an absolute pleasure. Take care and see you